We're a church, and we're trying to plant new churches here in Manchester.
Yep.
But
Okay.
what could we do that would matter to you?
Well, I don't know. The way to my heart's through my stomach. If you made a good peanut butter pie, you know, I'd probably show up every week. Go, guys.
Manchester is the largest city in the live free or die state, so I can ride around in this truck with no seatbelt on legally. The only state in the union that you can still do that. A sense of personal responsibility and personal freedom, and that really plays into how people live their lives, that they will do their own thing. They're all set. They don't need someone to tell them what to do or how to live or how they should think or act, and a lot of times they think that's what the church is going to do, that the church is just somebody that has a list of rules and tells me what I can and can't do, and so I can find God in my own way. I can come to Him on my own terms. Yeah, welcome to Manchester. We're on the west side of the city. Predominantly in its origin was French Catholic, but pretty diverse now with over 70 languages spoken in the Manchester public schools.
So here in the city of Manchester, it's our largest city in the state. Right here in the city limits, we've got 110,000 people.
It has become somewhat homogenized over the years, and people have mixed and gotten to know each other, but you can still look and say, oh, that's the French area, that's the German part of town. This is where the refugees from Haiti are all gathering.
Downtown, there's several small universities. The New Hampshire Institute of Art is growing. It seems like every year they're buying more and more buildings. Southern New Hampshire University is the north end of town. Has a huge international populations. UNH Manchester has a campus here with a lot of commuter students. Why it might not be the cultural center of the state is definitely the heartbeat of the state. With a lot of activity, we have a couple minor league sports teams here, and just being the biggest city, it does have a big influence on the rest of the state. And it's the melting pot and also the drop-off zone for the state. There are other towns that literally send their down and out people with a one-way ticket to Manchester. So what's your favorite thing about the city?
I'd have to say most of the libraries and places where you can eat if you're starving. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was homeless at one time, but I ain't no more. I'm on Social Security, so
Okay.
a lot of places up here to get clothes and eat and stuff like that.
And so we have the poorest of the poor, and we also have some of the richest of the rich.
Bedford is a heavily affluent community here in New Hampshire. It's one of the most affluent communities in the state. And so it's a very busy community, a lot of lawyers, doctors, and what have you. And what a great place to plant a church.
Manchester is critical for reaching this area, reaching the Merrimack Valley, just because of the population, because of its central location. And we do have some churches that are very involved in church planting right here. And this serves as kind of a hub for what we're doing in church planting.
There's some real opportunity to reach out to people groups in this area that really have nowhere else to go. They don't have anyone to turn to. And for us as the church, we need to be reaching out to them as well as reaching out to their neighbors who have been living here for generations.
And there's no shortage of folks who need to hear the gospel. As most of New Hampshire and New England, 3 out of 100 folks have a saving relationship with Christ. And here in Manchester, you literally can't walk more than a block or two without rubbing shoulders with somebody. And odds are they haven't heard the gospel and they haven't received the gospel. And there's, man, we need 10 churches in Manchester tomorrow. And right now we have a couple in the works, and there's a great need, a huge need for new churches. There's a great need for laborers.
Faith Bridge is helping to reach out to the Nepalese and Bhutanese refugees that have settled here in the area. Have hosted a Brazilian church and are just doing a tremendous work to reach all peoples here in Manchester. And so much possibility for ministry here, and just want to encourage you to to look to the north, look to New England, and look to New Hampshire as a place to come and to serve.
And man, pray about it and seek the Lord's will and come to New Hampshire, come to Manchester, and come to be on the front line, the cutting edge of ministry. I mean, it's front lines out here, and it's a great opportunity to experience some things you would never experience in an established church. And don't just come for the experience, but come because the Lord's laid it on your heart to make an impact for the gospel, to make an impact on eternity in a place where many have never heard the true gospel of Christ.